Gotcha. That's a wise move.
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Some of the best sounds you'll ever hear are generic. Safe. Effective. Even money-saving, just like FDA-approved generic drugs. Even if they don't come in the exact same color or shape as their brand name equivalents, they have the same key ingredients and go through a rigorous review process. Talk to your doctor or pharmacist today and visit fda.gov/generic drugs. Generics are safe, effective, and can save you money.
For over 60 years, Verlo Mattress has built-in mattresses made just for you. Stop in one of my factory stores in Beaver Dam, Fond du Lac, or Portage.
When you're farming, you never stop thinking ahead. At United Cooperative, we think ahead with you. We partner with producers on nutrient management planning to help you meet state and federal standards for nutrient management on your farm. Our expert view is powered by a team of qualified, certified crop advisors. Rely on the agronomists at United Cooperative for up-to-date agronomic technology, equipment, and expertise to help you meet your nutrient management goals. Call 920-887-1756. United Cooperative. Rely on us.
Hey, Thomas.
Hey, John.
Did you say it's December?
I did.
Holy Christmas. That means it's time for Verlo's year-end clearance sale. Hi, John from Verlo Mattress. I've got specials in every corner of the store. Save up to $250 off select Verlo mattress sets. Save up to $400 off the best American-made power bases. There's double coupons on select floor models with savings up to $500. Stop, shop, and save today during Verlo's year-end clearance sale. Mattress shopping made easy. Mattresses made better. Verlo, made just for you.
This Green and Gold Fix is brought to you by Countryside Auto Group, where savings come standard.
For the first time since 2015, Joe Philbin will be roaming the sidelines as a head coach. Philbin was named the Packers' interim head coach after Mike McCarthy was fired on Sunday. Team president Mark Murphy says Philbin is in the running to become the permanent head coach. However, Philbin says he's not worried about that right now.
Look, we got one thing to think about, and that's our 13th game against the Atlanta Falcons, a good football team coming to Lambeau Field at 12 o'clock. We got to do things better, all of us. I told them, number one responsibility you have is to be a professional. We all have a job to do. We all have to do it better. Players and coaches, I said, it wasn't all on them. It wasn't all on us.
We'll see how the Packers do under Philbin these last 4 games, including this Sunday when they face the 4-8 Atlanta Falcons at Lambeau Field. Kickoff is set for noon.
This holiday season, everyone at Green Valley Enterprises would like to thank you for your generous donations throughout the last 50 years.
Hi, I'm Brian Jacobson, Executive Director of Green Valley Enterprises. Our mission in Dodge County is to help individuals with special needs achieve maximum potential and independence. We would like to thank you for your support.
Hi, I'm Clara Armstrong, and I work at Green Valley. Your gifts have helped me and my friends at Green Valley to enjoy many opportunities. We all would like to thank you.
Thanks to your donations in 2018, Green Valley was able to expand their Summer Life Academy, create the brand new Meaningful Day program, and launch the Partners with Business program. This holiday season, please consider giving to Green Valley Enterprises to further our commitment to all individuals. You can donate online at gvinc.org.
Thank you for the last 50 years of support from Green Valley Enterprise. Happy holidays.
Here's the look at your weatherology forecast. We'll see cloudy skies here for this afternoon with a high around 30 degrees. Winds out of the southwest around 10 to 15 miles per hour. For tonight, a slight chance for some snow showers here late. Mostly cloudy, a low near 19, and west winds around 5 to 10. By Thursday, partial sunshine develops and a high around 23. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki on your hometown station AM 1430 WBEV.
Currently, it's 32.
Gift-giving season is now here, and so we start to sweat. Afraid that all the gifts we give each person will regret. There's got to be a better way to get it right this year. Oh, tell me, what am I to do? Give me a clue. Oh, tell me, what am I to do?
Hey, here's the perfect solution. Why not give the gift of Broadway quality theater, dinner prepared by award-winning chefs, and a chance to visit spectacular gift shops all wrapped up in one convenient gift card? It's the Fireside gift card. It's available in any amount, and it's good for shows, dining, and shopping.
The perfect gift they'll use all year and never disregard. Yes, everyone I know would love a Fireside gift card.
And it couldn't be easier. Just call 800-477-9505 or visit firesidetheater.com. The Fireside gift card, only from the Fireside Theater.
Listen to WBEV online anytime at dailydodge.com. Brought to you by Beaver Dam Piggly Wiggly.
1237 from AM 1430 WBEV, streaming online at dailydodge.com. It is time now for today's community comment. Here's your host, Craig Warmbold.
Well, thank you very much, and good afternoon. Our guest on Community Comment today is with a newer organization in the Dodge County community. We want to welcome into the studio the executive director with Salute the Troops and the Warrior House. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
The Warrior House. Mm-hmm. This is the first time I've heard about it here in the last couple weeks. And usually I hear about this type of thing. Yeah. That's kind of what I do. I'm fascinated by it.
Thank you.
Tell what is the Warrior House? Tell us about it.
So it's our transitional living for male veterans. And that kind of speaks to everything. But it's how it came to us that I think is the magical part of it. So we have some owners of the Camelot Golf Course that heard of this house coming up for sale. And our former executive director, Ed Barnes, had a dream to have a transitional housing for male veterans, whatever that may be, if they're literally homeless, if they're struggling with substance abuse, anything for our veterans coming back. If you've ever served in the armed forces and are kind of in that transition period and you don't have a place to call your own, this is a place to come back to neutral, a safe space where you can receive counseling, you can get your benefits through the VA. At least it's a starting point, a safe place. We offer transportation, resume building. We help you with job placement as much as we can. We do credit counseling. We're always building on our program. And when we came into this home, it was really because of the owners of Camelot Golf Course in pooling their money and purchasing the house, so that they could kind of gift it to us in a sense that we are allowed to use it for our program. And unfortunately, our former director passed away very suddenly, so he didn't get to see it come to fruition. But when you bring the community into it and you get your board members wrapped around something like this and actually seeing it come to life, when the community gets a hold of something, I'm sure you can see that they don't let it fall apart very easily. So from October of 2016 until March of 2017, it was all about the community bringing truckloads of canned goods, furniture, you name it. We had it, and it was, okay, we're ready, let's open. And we had our ribbon cutting. We had quite a few people come out there and celebrate opening the doors for that in March of 2017. So we're at about that 1.5 year point, and every day is a learning curve, and it's a very organic program that we build on and we revamp regularly. So right now we're building a small committee of combat veterans that have stepped forward to help the gentlemen that are in the house to kind of get their wings back, so to speak, and get back on their feet.
And these would be combat veterans that aren't necessarily in the house. They're kind of like a support group.
Yes.
Yep. Are you seeing younger, older? Is there a demographic that you're hitting with this?
You know, in the beginning I would have said, you know, most of the gentlemen staying in the home are middle-aged, but our youngest veteran that's in the house now is 19. And so that's a whole nother experience when you have so many eras, so many different generations and what their struggles are so different. So some of them are coming out that are, you know, have only been in the service for a year or a few months and have been discharged for various reasons, and they really don't know how to transition back into being civilians or understanding what kind of help that they can get.
We're speaking with Kim Galsky. She's the executive director with Salute the Troops and the Warrior House in Lamira. Streaming live at dailydodge.com today. If you want to watch the program, our video streaming, just go to the video tab and you could feel free to watch the program that way. 920-885-4446 is always the phone number if you have questions or comments about this program. Is it what is the official name? Is it Salute the Troops? Is it Warrior House? What do we call it?
Sure. So Salute the Troops started about 7 years ago with a small group out of Giddings and Lewis, which is or Thieves, or is called in Fond du Lac. A small group of veterans. They just wanted to be able to help within their four walls, and it grew. It grew through word of mouth. It also grew into Sheboygan County when the Solution Center in Sheboygan County dissolved. They had money left over, and according to 501c3 rules, you have to grant that money to another nonprofit. And so they chose Salute the Troops, and we in turn now service them financially for veterans in need, which is, only proper to do the same thing. When we brought on the Warrior House as one of our programs, we also financially help Dodge County. So, we're growing one county at a time, and in those 3 counties, you have roughly 30,000 veterans that are self-identified. So those are people that have enrolled in the VA process, which if you are somebody who has served in the armed forces and you're listening and you are not enrolled in the VA, I highly recommend that you go to your veteran service officer in your county. And we are very fortunate in Wisconsin to have a service officer in every county, in 72 counties in the state. I worked for the VA out in Reno at one point, and you didn't have that. It was all regionalized. So if you lived 5 hours away, you still had to drive into Reno in order to see somebody who was affiliated with the VA for your benefits. So take advantage of what this state offers, and that's a really good bridge to understand what Salute the Troops does. We were starting out, like I said, with financial, and when I took over running this, that I'm blessed to do, and I give thanks for that every single day, is how do we help them transition back? So it's not just about putting a Band-Aid on, helping with the utilities or the rent, which is obviously important, but it's more of how did you get there? How can we help you get back on your feet and be sustainable? How can we make you stronger? How can we give that hand up? We don't believe that it's a handout. We know that, me, especially being a veteran, and my own story of being a homeless parent at one point myself coming out of the service and not understanding what services I could tap into. We are all strong enough to get back on our feet. We just kind of need, everybody needs a hand up once in a while. So, that's really what we're here to do, and be that broker of resources, not just for us, but how do we tap into other ones, because we don't want to duplicate services either.
And the community can help with the Warrior House. I know you've got some drop-off locations for items at places around town. Get Fit, I believe, is the centralized location.
It is, yes. And oh my gosh, the outpouring from the community, it's surprising, but it shouldn't be, because especially this time of year, and it really should be Christmas all the time, because it's so much more on top of our heads of what we should be doing for others. But the last I heard, we had we had quite a bit that is going to go back to our veterans, and don't ever think that it's too much, because as of yesterday morning, I had a phone call that I have a female veteran who has a child that is homeless at this point. And
from the area.
Yes, unfortunately, there aren't any homes for female veterans specifically, but not only that, but females in general. There aren't a lot of warming shelters or things like that just for women. So again, it might go in somebody's ear that can make a difference when you're on the radio, when you're doing things like this, that somebody's listening that wants to do something. It doesn't necessarily have to be in the veteran arena, but it's definitely something that is needed, and you don't know what you don't know until you get into it, that these things are really needed in our community.
So what are the options for this young lady?
Right now, Salute the Troops will financially pay for her to stay at a hotel in the Fond du Lac area. And even that is hard, because, hotels don't fully understand what we're doing, why we're doing it, who this person is, that we're a nonprofit, that there are certain rules of a nonprofit world. So education is my job 90% of the time, is, getting people to understand more. Education is power. those partnerships are so important. For her, we are connecting her with WDVA, so the Department of Wisconsin Veterans Affairs, to get her enrolled in programs that will pay for her to get housing. So because she is literally homeless, it's a little bit different if somebody has a place to stay or they have other resources to get into that type of program. But the WDVA does offer programming, so does CVI. And CVI is the Center for Veterans Issues, which is out of Milwaukee, but they have remote offices all over the state that helps out with that. So we all kind of overlap one another to make sure that, if you can think of a blanket or a crochet, that, the stronger those fabrics are together and overlapping one another, that strong blanket that lasts. So that's what nonprofits really do, is make sure that those gaps are filled when larger companies and smaller mom and pop type places can't take care of their veterans. We step in to do that.
Kim Galsky, our guest executive director with Warrior House, under the umbrella of Salute the Troops, here at AM 1430 WBEV, streaming live at dailydodge.com, video streaming there as well. The needs, as illustrated by the woman and her child that you're talking about, and the general needs that you find at the Warrior House, what are they? What can our listeners do? What kind of things can we put in the collection bin?
Sure. So what we like to do with the Warrior House is when these gentlemen get back on their feet. So we have recently helped a gentleman get 70% service connection. So basically that means that through his injury, he was homeless when he came to us. We walked him through the VA service process. He was looked at medically, and he is now service connected. So he'll be receiving a pension from the government because of his injury, which will allow him to now be self-sustaining because he will not be able to work anymore due to his injury. So a lot of times what happens in these gentlemen that come to the Warrior House, and not all of them have this, but we go through a process, we get frustrated, nobody's going to help us. We get to the bottom of the line and we just throw our hands up and we just don't want to do it anymore because it doesn't seem to be working. So we come along and say, okay, let's just go back one more time. Let's follow up with that one more time. Let's get back on the phone one more time. And it's usually that one more time that's what makes the difference. And for him, it allows him to now be a father, to get an apartment, and to be a dad to his daughter, which he wasn't really able to do prior because he didn't have a place to stay. So, we cannot be quick to judge what's going on or how they got there. We just need to be able to take the steps one day at a time, patiently, giving them the confidence to be able to go through and show back up again and ask again. Pride aside, it's not what it's about. So when you're making a donation to us, for that gentleman to move out, he doesn't have furnishings. He doesn't have, necessarily the money to get toiletries and things like that, the things that you don't normally think of when you're moving into your first place. So if you think back on the first apartment you ever had, what are the things that you wanted? A TV, a radio, or toilet paper, or paper towels, or some food in the refrigerator. It can be something as simple as dish soap that can help out. So, everything is needed. And just to give you a little bit of pricing of what it costs to run the Warrior House, we're looking at about $2,500 a month just to run the Warrior House, to keep it warm, to offer Wi-Fi, because we've got to be able to be on our computers. Unfortunately, that's how the world goes around. For resume building, for just sanity in itself, because we're going into the dark months. So to be able to watch ESPN, those things are important. Sure. So we also have to have that up because we can work from home now. So we have to have that flexibility too. So really the end game is for them in this home is to gain the confidence to go out, get employment. A part of our program is helping them with the housing cost. So we're also educating them on how to put 30% aside, because that's usually what HUD is. So a portion of that goes towards the house itself to make it sustainable, and a portion of that gets saved so that when they do move out, they already have a little bit of a nest egg to go with. So, you know, it's all a learning, one day at a time, one step at a time. Sometimes it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back.
Cash donations
Yes.
are accepted. You guys are a 501c3.
Yes, we are.
Okay, so
Yes.
tax-deductible donations
Correct.
can be. Where can I send that?
Our main office is Salute the Troops, and that is out of Fond du Lac. It can be sent to a P.O. Box 901, and that's Fond du Lac 54936. So P.O. Box 901, Fond du Lac 54936.
It is the Warrior House under the umbrella of Salute the Troops. Kim Galski is with us. She is the executive director. We do have to take a break here. We are going to continue our conversation, look a little further into this issue of veteran homelessness, and also talk about a little more about what we can do out there in the community to help these veterans as they make this transition. You could go to, is it salutethetropswi.org?
Correct.
If I'm not mistaken,
Yes.
that would be your website. If you're watching on the video stream again at dailydodge.com, that should be on the screen for you if you have questions about the Salute the Troops program, or if you have questions about Warrior House. So we'll take a break, and we will be back here in just a few minutes.
When entering the next stage of life, Prairie Ridge Assisted Living in Beaver Dam and Waupun understand the importance in finding the right place that feels like home. We caught up with Bill, a current resident, to find out why he chose Prairie Ridge Assisted Living for his next home.
You can't stay in your home forever. There's always going to be something that happens that makes you move from your home. I would recommend Prairie Ridge because it's a nice place to live. That's the nice. And you're going to leave your house, which was a nice place to live. And you want to go to a place that is nice to live, and that's Prairie Ridge. You can't find a better place around here than Prairie Ridge.
At Prairie Ridge, they are home first and assisted living second. Go online today for your private tour at prairieridgeassisted.com.
Take your picture with Santa at Slumberland in Beaver Dam Saturday, December 8th from 10 until noon. Enjoy cookies from Beaver Dam Piggly Wiggly and register to win Visa Cash gift cards to help you with your holiday shopping. At Slumberland Saturday, December 8th, 10 till noon.
Let's go on an adventure to Ireland. Hi, this is John Moser. Travel leaders WBEV WXRO and my wife Sue and I would like to invite you to join us as we explore Ireland in September of 2019. We're going to be there 8 nights, including an overnight in a castle. We'll visit Dublin, take in the majestic mountain views and spectacular beaches on Achill Island. We'll discover including in Belfast, where we'll walk in the footsteps of the man who built the world's most famous ship, the Titanic. We'll see the majesty and mystery of the giant causeway and its unique rock formations, plus the Guinness Museum, Bushmills Distillery, and more. Let's explore Ireland together, September 8th through September 17th, 2019. For more information, you can call Brian at Travel Leaders in Menominee Falls at 262-255-8700, 262-255-8700. Or you can pick up a flyer here at the radio station, 100 Bill McCullum Way.
Tune in to 95.3 WXRO or AM 1430 WBEV for coverage of the Green and Gold game Sunday, December 9th, and listen for the Columbus Family Dental Mystery Player of the Game. Listen to the morning show on Monday, December 10th on 95.3 or 1430. Be the correct number caller when we ask who was the Columbus Family Dental Mystery Player of the Game on December 9th. Get it right and you'll win a Sonicare Power Toothbrush valued at over $100. Plus, you'll be entered into the grand prize drawing for an autographed Aaron Rodgers mini helmet.
Now's your chance to save big during the Fleet Farm Buy and Get Savings event. Don't miss incredible deals with huge savings on items like Superior Premium Hardwood Fuel Pellets. Buy 2, get 1 free. Games for all ages. Buy 2, get 1 free. 5-quart Haviland Conventional Motor Oil. Buy 1, get 1 free. And ladies' Mucklucks leggings. Buy 1, get 2 free. Fleet Farm is built for every season. Fleet Farm, built for real life.
Happy holidays, everybody. This is Sandy from McKinstry's Home Furnishings in downtown Beaver Dam. I want to tell you about our Christmas coupon sale. We have reduced prices on hundreds of items throughout our store. In addition to those savings, you can use your coupons. Which coupons will you clip? $40 off any Simmons or Symbol mattress set, $30 off any sofa or love seat, $30 off any area rug. Where do you get these coupons? They are in the Daily Citizen newspaper and at McKinstry's Home Furnishings and on our Facebook page. $20 off any Lazy Boy recliner or chair, $40 off any dining set, $50 off any grandfather clock. The sale ends December 24th, so hurry in for the Christmas coupon sale at McKinstry's Home Furnishings, downtown Beaver Dam. Merry Christmas!
You are listening to AM 1430 WBEV. Beaver Dam. Head into winter with great tires for your vehicles. Get the price match guarantee at the Quick Lane service at Countryside Ford in Columbus. Open Monday through Saturday. Countryside Ford, 330 Transit Road in Columbus. It is time now for more of today's community comment. Here again is your host, Craig Warmbold.
And our guest is Kim Galsky. She is with Salute the Troops and the executive director of the Warrior House in Lamira. That is a facility for homeless veterans.
Correct.
In the area.
Yep.
You yourself, you're a Marine.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about your service?
Sure. So I spent 5 years on active duty out in Camp Pendleton. I grew up on the West Coast, so I am a transplant to Wisconsin 10 years ago. And in moving here, I truly believe, whatever your religion preference, I believe that God dropped me right here in this amazing state for a reason. He had a mission for me. I just wasn't sure what that was at the time. I was the statistic. I had 13 jobs from the time of getting out in 2001 until I came here in 2008, really trying to figure out where I belonged. I really thought I was messed up in some way, or that I didn't, when you go from being in the military, from knowing so much, from always having a support system, always having leadership and mentors and a direction. It was mission accomplishment. It's no excuses. It's, everybody has a purpose in the service, and it is, and that's why they call it service. Because it's a volunteer service that you're privileged enough to go do, and to come out with some amazing skills. But sometimes when you come out, the military is not very good at transitioning us out and teaching us how to acclimate back into civilian life. There is a huge difference, and I know that the veterans that are listening, anybody is probably nodding their head right now going, she's right. And so for me, I ended up here being displaced with a child myself. I was very fortunate to go into managing an investment company for almost 8 years. And in that, I found veteran organizations I had no idea existed. And I went on a mission of my own to build a Veterans Resource Center, because I don't believe that, a combat veteran Purple Heart recipient needs to be out at the Piggly Wiggly selling brats. If they want to do that because they get joy in raising money to give to a fund of some kind, whether that's children or another veteran organization, that's fine. But when they're doing it to keep the lights on, I have a problem with that. And so that's kind of where the mission took a hard left with Salute the Troops when I was asked to be the director. Was, let's stop putting a Band-Aid. Let's stop just paying the electric bills, because I've been there too, and I could pay my electric, but in my soul, I couldn't figure out why I was broken. What happened? I didn't have that commonality, the camaraderie, the conversation. Once you get people that have been in the service in the same room, you should really stand back and watch what happens. It's magical. And it can start from somebody getting out of boot camp and having that, oh my gosh, I remember what that was like, getting yelled at and move faster and, all of these things that we giggle about. The World War II veteran who's on hospice right now, and reflecting on his life, and you come in and say, I served in the Marine Corps, sir. thank you for your service and welcome home. And they get that glow in their eyes because now they're little kids again too, and they remember those experiences. So it's start to finish. I'm not just an executive director. This isn't just another nonprofit. This is, how do we build a program that helps?
That those services are helping them with that next step.
Correct. So when we bring them in, we go through an agreement. So we have our Warrior House agreement, and that agreement is really written by them. This is not something that we come in and say, this A, B, and C is what you're going to do, sign on the dotted line, and welcome to the house. This is very much a collaborative effort between us as the facilitator and them as the person who is going to definitely benefit from the program. So they come in and we go through a small booklet of expectations and accountability. So a part of that is making sure that we're, once again, not just putting a Band-Aid on something. We want to make sure that they leave with all the tools in their tool belt. And a part of that is credit counseling. How did we get there in the first place? We've all been there. We've all had something that went to the wayside that got out of control for whatever reason. And then, when it comes down to a car payment or putting food in your mouth or, paying an electric bill, you make the choice of probably sustaining your body. So how do we get them out of that? How do we educate them on that instead of saying, I'll help you pay for that. Don't worry about it. Let's learn from it. The other part of that is making sure that they have a proper resume. How do we translate what their military experience was into what they can actually apply in the civilian world, which you would be astounded by how much does translate and is pretty substantial.
And you have computers that are on site that can help with the resumes. Do you need computers?
We don't need computers. We've had some amazing donors come in with refurbished computers for us, laptops and things like that. So we have plenty of that, but thank you for bringing that up. We do work with multiple organizations to do job placement. So we actually have people that work directly with the veterans organizations. Cindy Holzman is one of them out of Fond du Lac that helps in job placement. She's very well versed in translating what they've done in the military into a job, helping with the resume, helping with interview skills, getting them into or in front of people or companies that they may not gravitate to, like Quad Graphics. What do they actually do? Okay, let's go in and take a tour and find out. A lot of that opens up a door that maybe they just didn't know they were curious about and gets them into a position.
We're speaking with Kim Galski. She is with Salute the Troops and Executive Director of the Warrior House in Lamira, which is accepting donations, non-perishable food items, furnishing items, not mattresses, clothing. There are drop-off locations in Beaver Dam at Get Fit, and you could also send a tax-deductible donation to P.O. Box 901 in Fond du Lac, 54936. You seem to have indicated over the course of the program today that future plans include providing an opportunity for female veterans.
Correct.
Tell us more about the needs and what the goals are of Warrior House going forward. You have 4 people in there.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Yes. We actually just helped a gentleman get service connected. So walking him through, I'd mentioned that before. He is on his way out of the house. So that is, that's a success story. We have another that came in off the street, and we helped him get back on his feet as well. He's got a car now, he's got a job, he's doing really well. So now we're in the phase of where are we going to live? And I've had a lot of questions lately for female veterans. And so obviously near and dear to my heart is to get something up and running. The reality of the Warrior House, though, is that it's a very expensive program. Very expensive program. The other part of that is we don't own the house. So a part of that $2,500 is paying to even be able to have that program there. Now that it's been open and it's, people are giving to it and it's full of, canned goods and things like that, it's a program that we hold on to with every grain of fiber of our being to make sure that it doesn't die. If we owned the house, it would be a totally different ballgame because it would free up so much more funding for what we could provide for that space I think the hardest part with the Warrior House is that it's not on a bus line. It's out in the country, which is great. It's a double-edged sword. You've got, peace and quiet, not a lot of distractions. But the other part is you can't walk anywhere from there. We do have a minivan, but that's one van for 4 people. And if they all have jobs, it can get a little bit crazy. I think it's a great place to start. If we owned it, it would probably be a game changer. But, when you're a nonprofit trying to purchase a residency, that is difficult because, there's nothing to rely on for the bank. So that's hard. So, when I say $1 million organization, a lot of that is being able to purchase locations so that we can provide a service. And for our females, it would need to be in the Fond du Lac area because it's going to need to be within school districts that can be walked to, that we can provide daycare for, so that we can get the women, if need be, back into an educational position, whether that be through Moraine Park or Marion University. So, there's a lot of vision out there of what we'd like to see happen, but it's definitely going to take a village to make it all come through.
Do you take donations of houses?
I have not had that happen, but that would be wonderful.
What type of waiting list is there?
Oh, boy. The longer that we're in this, the more people hear about it, and we're becoming a magnet. I can't give a firm number on that because it changes. So there are a lot of resources in the Milwaukee area, but the numbers are huge in the Milwaukee area. Madison as well. Madison is such a wonderful place for veterans to receive services, but they all came from there. So, the amount of staff to be able to help in that sense is big. Fond du Lac is coming into its own, but we are surrounded by amazing organizations and people to help. Getting a donation of a home for women, if I could put out a request, if we could do a male and a female duplex, even if they're on the opposite sides of town, at least they would be in the area that we could service them. The other part of what's happening in our programs is our Veterans Garden that we have built now downtown Fond du Lac. I can't wait for spring to come because it's built. It's shaped as a United States flag. It's beautiful, but that's all a part of therapy. That's hydrotherapy. I mean, to be able to come in and grow something with your own hands, to dig in the dirt, to talk or to not talk, to be a part of something that you can nurture and then eat from is wonderful. We had our we had our War Horse program, which was our equine therapy program. That is going through a little bit of a transitioning phase in itself right now with working out some kinks, but we have had a veteran go through that, a combat veteran, who has made amazing strides. He now owns his own business, Operation Coffee, out of Campbellsport. Amazing. He's a coffee roaster, and he believes that every great conversation starts over a good cup of coffee. And 10% of his proceeds go back to nonprofits that help with suicide prevention. So we have our finger, so to speak, in everything. We love helping people become famous, like Sam Floyd and Operation Coffee. It's just been amazing.
For those that are just joining us on the program today here on AM 1430 WBEV and streaming on the video tab at dailydodge.com, for those that may have missed it, can you recap your needs for us? What are some of the things you guys could use over at the Warrior House in Lamira, the
Sure.
location for homeless veterans?
So the Warrior House is in need of, if I could say, we have a dirt driveway that runs it's terrible, and it's very expensive to pave that driveway because it's sloped, and we're talking a pre-Civil War home. There are a lot of things that need to be fixed in that house that would make it much more efficient. We could use another car donation. We've got 4 veterans in there. We can fit 4 in there now, but if all 4 of them have different jobs and are going in different directions, that makes it harder because there's not a bus route on there. Food, we always can use food, non-perishable items. I would have to say that the most food that these gentlemen get are right around the holidays, probably more so than they want or need. So if things can be frozen, we're always in need of meat. A lot of farmers in the area. Warm clothes, socks, underwear, things like that, things that you run through quickly that you don't normally think about. And again, we don't have a ton of space. We have a little bit of space, so we don't need semi-trucks full, although that's wonderful. And I bet if we did have one, we could find another veteran organization that could use it just as much as we do.
Kind of wrapping things up today, what do you want our listeners to take away from this conversation that we've had?
Oh, boy. I think first and foremost that Salute the Troops is kind of the beacon. We're like the lighthouse. And we want to be able to help and educate in more ways than just helping us. There are so many organizations that already exist that help veterans in multiple ways. You're in a fantastic area. Salute the Troops is great, and we want to be that broker for the state, and meaning that we want to be able to pull together resources from all over. So if we can't do it, we're going to find somebody who can. We want to be able to build a female veterans housing that will allow their children to be with them, because most of the time women are the sole breadwinners for their families, and getting them back on their feet quickly. The Warrior House, and that is an ever-growing program, and it's a year and a half in. And so, if we could get counselors, or if anybody wants to do some pro bono work on that end, we could always use them there. But I just want to say thank you so much for having me here and being able to educate the public more, because you didn't even know it existed.
Wasn't aware of it.
And this is really where it starts, is the conversation of why I'm so passionate about it, because I've walked in their shoes. And if, we have veteran socials every month. So find us on Facebook, find our website, get re-involved. Even if you're not a veteran yourself and you want to help out, which happens quite often. I'm always looking for volunteers. I need a small army. There are so many different ways of helping us, and this has just been an awesome experience to come on and to just educate.
You have a veteran social coming up that you want to plug?
We always have our veteran social in Fond du Lac on the last Tuesday of each month.
Okay.
And it's from 5:30 to 7. It's right downtown at our location. We are also starting one in Sheboygan. It will be on the 14th, which is next Friday at 5:30 at the Glass, GLAS Coffee House in Sheboygan. And these are really just groups. We get together, we chat, we share resources if need be, but come and get a cup of coffee and a goodie on us, and let's just rebuild that camaraderie and have a good time.
Once again, it is Salute the Troops. You can go online to salutethetropswi.org for more information about Warrior House. Kim Galsky, United States Marine Corps.
Yes.
The executive director of the Warrior House. Folks can email Ms. Galsky at Sergeant Galsky.
Yeah.
Excuse me. At director@salutethetropswi.org. P.O. Box 901, Fond du Lac 54936.
Correct.
I think we've covered all the bases.
Yes,
What do you think?
absolutely.
Will you come back here at a time that isn't necessarily the peak of the Christmas season, when your donations for food are at their highest, maybe at a time when you could really use that pantry filled and catch us up on everything that's been going on?
I would love to come back and share some success stories of our veterans, and especially the ones that I've talked about recently. I'd like to come back and summarize, what's happened and who's been really the game changers in all of this, and who's helped out. So
we would like to hear those next chapters.
Yeah.
So we look forward to that conversation. Again, thank you for your time today, and thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Kim Galsky, Executive Director with Warrior House in Lamira, homeless veterans facility under the umbrella of Salute the Troops. That is going to do it for today's Community Comment.
Oh, excuse me, I've been letting her rip lately, ever since my driver sent me to JRC Enterprises Auto Repair and Machine Shop in Columbus. JRC's technicians gave me the once and twice over. May I say, they could give me a 3-time over.